Hello students, my name is Shakti and we will be studying informatics practices for class 11. Before we proceed, we will start with the first chapter. But before we proceed, I want to let you know that syllabus has been changed and now the RBSE or CBSE are following NCERT books. So latest books are available on the NCERT websites. You can download the book and that book we will follow. So the first chapter is computer systems. Okay, do not follow the Sumita Arora book or any other book. Just download the NCERT book from the NCERT websites. There is the latest PDF available, which is only we will follow. So the first chapter is Introduction to Computer Systems. So in the chapter first, there is a quote given by Alan Turing. Turing was a computer scientist and a very famous computer scientist. The quote was, okay, the meaning of the quote was, I will explain. The meaning of the quote was, how do you detect that a computer is an intelligent? So he is saying that if a person who is interacting with the computer and he thinks that he is not interacting with the computer but he is interacting with a human. So that computer system will be called as intelligent computer system. Okay. So you can think about that Turing, that he was a famous scientist, computer scientist, and in computer science there is an award given which is known as the Turing Award, that is equivalent to the Nobel Prize. Turing Award, that is equivalent to the Nobel Prize. So in the field of computer science, no Nobel Prize is given, a Turing Award is given in a state by the name of Alan Turing. Okay, so the chapter, there is one point which is computer and another point is computer system. So there are two terms, one is computer and another is computer system. So what is a computer? A computer is basically an electronic device which takes the input and gives the output. So here is our electronic device which takes the input, gives the output and in between processes it. And this is our computer. So computer is an electronic device which takes input, processes it and gives output. Not including the input devices, not including the output devices and not including the memory or any other external devices. So the simple machine which takes input, processes it and gives output is known as computer. Process means it can be programmed also, means we can write a program and it will process according to that. That is known as computer. Now what is computer system? Computer system is when we attach input devices and output devices, memory and any external devices to the computer, then it will be known as computer system. So input will be our output device, output devices will be connected, input devices, output devices will be connected and then memory will also be connected. So if these devices are connected with the computer, then it will be known as computer. Then it will be known as computer system. Now, what are the examples of a computer system? Computer systems are desktop that you see in your laptop and mobiles. That also includes wearable, digital watches, Okay, these all are computer systems. Why they are computer systems? Suppose take an example of mobile, because there is an input which is in the form of keyboard. You have the keyboard in the mobile, and output is the screen. So this is mobile is also a computer system. Okay. Okay, so we now talk about architecture of a computer. What is the architecture of a computer? So this is our computer, and in that computer we have a CPU. So basically we see that CPU, and inside CPU we have a control unit, and we have a ALU, arithmetic and logical unit. So this is a CPU. So inside the computer we have a component that is known as CPU. That is known as the main component of the CPU. That is termed as equivalent to the brain of a computer. Now CPU, which is known as central processing unit. Now, have you seen the central processing unit CPU in desktop computers? I think in the desktop computers there is a box. You have seen in your lab that there is a box, and there is a power button. You click on the power button and your computer system starts. And you call this box as a CPU. Basically, it is not a CPU. Call it as CPU, but it is not termed as the actual CPU. CPU is inside it. So when we open this box, we see that there is a large circuit that is called motherboard. And inside motherboard there is a small chip which is known as CPU. So this is our computer system. Inside computers there is a motherboard, and inside motherboard there is a CPU. So inside this cabinet, when we open it, there is a motherboard. Then we will see a large electronic circuit that will be motherboard, and inside that motherboard we will have a CPU, a small electronic chip CPU. So now we will talk about this CPU, which is central processing unit. Now CPU is also known as processor, and also known as microprocessor. Actually, in the earlier times when CPU was built, it was of the size of a large room, like the big our classroom that was of this much of size of our classroom, or more than that also. So this is a big room, and earlier times the CPU was of this much of size. At that time it was called processor. But now you know that we have a laptop also, and inside laptop we have a motherboard, and in that motherboard we have a chip that will be called CPU. So now the chip size or the CPU size has been reduced. So now we call it microprocessor. Why processor? Because it processes the input. So now this is the architecture of computer system. So we see the architecture of computer. Architecture means what is inside a computer system, or basically the CPU. What is inside a CPU and how the CPU works. That is called the architecture. So architecture of CPU. So this is our CPU. Inside that we have a CU and ALU. CU is our control unit. And ALU is our, okay, that is going that side. Control unit and ALU is arithmetic and logical unit. So there are two components. As the name suggests, CU is control unit, means it controls everything that comes to the CPU. Any program, any instruction that comes to the CPU, it controls it. And ALU is arithmetic and logical operation. So whenever a program needs any arithmetic or logical operation, that will be done by ALU. First, everything that a program comes will come to the CU, control unit. So control unit interacts with input, control units interact with output. Input device or output device and also to the memory. Okay, so control unit directly deals with input device, output device and memory, and every other component communicate each other with the use of control unit. So whenever an input comes, or let us see, whenever a program, what is a program? Whenever a program is basically data plus instruction. What is data? What is instruction? Let us see. Suppose I have a file in which I have data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to suppose 100 or 1000. This is our data. Inside a file, our data, we have a data that is, and now we make a program. You know, you have made some Python programs or something. So inside the program, that program instructions are given. That instruction, there is a one instruction that reads the input from this data, that reads the input from this file. So it reads the data, and then there is an instruction that accepts the data from this file one by one and multiply every data by 2. So this is the instruction and data. So instruction we have given in the program, data we have in the separate file. When a program runs, data goes to the program, accepts the data from the file, and one by one it multiplies everything by 2. So this is data, this is instruction, and this is data. So when a program, we run this program first loads into the memory. This program first loads into the memory, and when it loads into the memory, then it goes to the control unit. And control unit reads instruction one by one and start executing those instructions. Whenever there is an instruction to fetch data from the file, that instruction will go to the memory, and memory will store that data in itself. And whenever instruction comes which says that multiply that data by 2, control unit send that instruction to the ALU, and ALU will start multiplying one by one. So this is the purpose of ALU. What is arithmetic operation? Arithmetic operation is multiply, plus, minus, greater than, less than. These are all arithmetic operations. What are logical operations? And, or, not. These are logical operations. So whenever this type of instruction comes from the CU control unit to the ALU, it performs that instruction. So this is basically the architecture of computer system. Now memory connects with the secondary devices, or we say external memory. Or secondary storage, secondary memory also, or storage. So whenever CU want some data from external storage. What are the external storage? External storage are our RAM, okay, sorry, hard disk, pen drive, CD, DVD. So whenever control unit or whenever CPU wants information from these external devices, first the data goes into the memory and from that memory it goes to the CPU. These are also called memories. This is also memory. But whenever I use a single term memory, that means this memory, and this memory is called physical memory. This memory is called physical memory. So if we call word memory, that means physical memory. If I want to call secondary storage secondary memory, then I will specifically mention that secondary memory, external memory. And this physical memory is also known as RAM, random access memory. We will discuss later about these type of memories and various operations on that. And inside CPU there are also registers. Register is of size of a small wire, like size of a very small, means just a fraction of an inch, very small, just a fraction of an inch size of a small piece of wire, similar, just similar to that. These are registers which is inside CPU. Registers are also used for memory purpose. Now the question is, why do we need registers when we have memory and when we have secondary memory? So we will discuss these things later. So you can say that these are also memory device, memory components, and that is resides inside the CPU. And registers are specifically for specific. Okay, we will discuss that thing later. You can say that there are three memories. One is memory, secondary memory, and these are registers is a kind of memory. For now, later we will see more type of like cache memory and something else, or ROM also, that we will discuss later. So this much. Okay, now we see how CPU control unit is made up of. So control unit, this is our CPU, or basically our CPU, basically how the CPU is made up of. So CPU is basically made up of ICs, which are small chips called ICs. ICs means integrated circuits or integrated chips. So CPU is made up of combination of or lot of ICs. And IC is basically an electronic component and which is made up using semiconductor material. Semiconductor material which you should be studying or you should have studied in your physics. Okay. Now we have talked something about CPU, we have talked something about memory. Now we talk something about input device. Now we talk something about input device. An input device is basically a device that takes input from user, like through keyboard. The medium can be anything like through keyboard or microphone, like something else. So input goes to the user via input. Okay, input comes from the user via input device and goes to the computer in a digital form. So input device takes the input from the user, converts it into the digital form, and that digital form goes into the CPU. Because we know that CPU only understands the language of zeros and ones. Whatever a computer understands is represented in the form of zeros and ones. So whatever input we give here, via keyboard or via our voice, that finally gets converted to 0 1 and then it goes to the CPU. So input device takes input from user and converts it into the digital form that the computer can understand. What are the input devices like keyboard, mouse, scanner? These are input devices. And whenever a user wants to send, this is input device and this is our CPU. So whenever a user wants to send some data from input device to the CPU, that is passed via a control signal. So how it works? A control signal is passed to the CPU, that is an instruction that there is some data available, just fetch that data. So then computer will fetch that data. You understood? A control signal is passed whenever data is available on the input device. A control signal is passed. A signal is passed to the CPU, and then CPU will fetch the data from the input device. So what are other input devices? One input device is the Braille keyboard. Braille keyboard is the one which is used by the visually impaired person who cannot see. So how they will type when they cannot see? In the keys there are small dots appear. By touching that small dots, he can induce that what it is written. Like suppose A can be written like this. This is just an example. It might be written like something else, but A can be written like this dots. So he can induce that. Okay, this is written as A. So similarly, Braille keyboard we have a Braille monitor also. In Braille monitor also the output appears in the form of this. So by touching he can deduce that what is written. So just last thing we will talk, that is output device. Output device is the one that takes input from the CPU and gives output to the output in the human readable form. What are the output devices? That is printer, monitor. These type of devices are okay. Printer has several types. We will talk only about three types, that is inkjet printer, dot matrix printer, and laser printer. By the name, we can infer that what is these terms meaning. Laser means that uses some laser, inkjet means that uses some inkjet or something. So one more printer that is widely being used today is 3D printer. 3D printer is a new technology and being very famous. What it does, it generates the prototypes of something. Like suppose if I want to build a huge building, a large building. So what it does, 3D printer, by using the 3D printer we can generate a prototype of that building. Before actually building that huge building, we can build a small prototype of that, of just like this road side. Okay, so we hand here, you can see this is also being used in the organ development, in the medical industry. So artificial organs